You're the person people call when things fall apart. Not sometimes, always. You answer. You show up. You say the right thing. You stay on the phone until they're okay. You sit with their crisis, their breakup, their 2 a.m. spiral, and you hold it with them until they can breathe again, and then you hang up and sit with your own thing. Alone, because somewhere along the way it became clear that your role in every relationship was to be the stable one, the one who handles it, the one who doesn't need handling. And you got so good at it, so consistently, reliably, uncomplainingly good at it, that people stopped asking if you were okay. Not because they don't care, because you trained them not to. You said fine so many times, with such convincing calm, that fine became the only answer anyone expected. The check-in became a formality, and eventually the formality disappeared too, if that's you. This video is about what that costs, and why it started long before you realized it was happening. Here's what psychology says about the person who becomes everyone's support. It almost never starts in adulthood. It starts in a home where someone had to be steady before they were old enough to choose it, where a child looked around and decided, consciously or not, that the environment needed someone to hold it together, and that someone was going to be them. Maybe a parent was struggling emotionally, and the child learned to manage the climate of the house before they understood what they were doing. Maybe needs were unpredictable, and the child decided that having needs of their own was a complication nobody needed. Maybe being strong was the only version of themselves that received consistent warmth. So they became the strong one, early, before it was a choice, and then they carried it into every friendship, every relationship, every room they walked into. Not performing strength, actually being it, actually showing up, actually giving what other people needed. The emotional labor was real, the care was real, the availability was completely real. Drop a comment right now if you can remember the last time someone called just to check on you, not to ask for something, not to process their own thing, just to see how you actually are. Because here's the part that breaks quietly. The person who holds everyone together is almost always the loneliest person in the room. Not because they're surrounded by bad people, because they built such a convincing architecture of capability that no one thinks to look beneath it. They become the person who is always fine, who always has it together, who always knows what to say. And that reputation, built from real skill, real care, real effort, becomes a kind of prison. Because the moment they aren't fine, they don't know how to show it. And even if they did, part of them is afraid of what happens when the stable one stops being stable, so they stay stable. Even when they're not, they answer the 2 a.m. call while carrying their own 2 a.m. thing in silence. They sit with your grief while privately carrying grief nobody knows about. They give you the exact words you needed while being unable to find those words for themselves. Subscribe right now if you've ever given someone advice about a problem you were also quietly living through and never mentioned it. Here's what this does over time. It doesn't break dramatically. It erodes. Slowly, quietly, in the specific way that things erode when they're never replenished. The care becomes slightly more effortful. The availability becomes slightly more costly. The patience becomes slightly thinner, and they feel guilty for every single one of those shifts. Because caring should be enough, shouldn't it? Because they chose this role, didn't they? They didn't choose it. They were shaped into it. And the weight of being everyone's anchor, without anyone being theirs, creates a specific kind of loneliness that's almost impossible to explain to someone who hasn't lived it. Because they're surrounded by people who love them. People who would say, "I'm always there for you." And they would mean it, but meaning it and knowing how to reach the real person beneath the capable one are two different things. And most people only know how to reach the capable version, because that's the only version they were ever shown. Here's what this person needs, and almost never gets. They need someone to ask twice. Not the polite "how are you" that expects fine, the second ask. The slower one, the one that says, "No, really, how are you?" They need someone to notice without being told, to show up without being called, to make them someone's first thought rather than someone's reliable resource. They need to be someone's priority. Not just everyone's foundation. They deserve that. They always did. And if nobody has told you that recently, you are allowed to need things. You are allowed to not be okay. You are allowed to put down the weight of everyone else for long enough to feel your own. You spent a long time making sure everyone else was held. It's okay to let someone hold you back if this reached you somewhere it needed to reach. Subscribe to Mind Candid. New psychology every week.